Hi, folks. This is David Heyman from Google for Work. Thank you, Kevin and Cheryl, for inviting me today to join the call. Um, Kevin, I think that's a great opportunity to transition and talk a little bit more about, how you might be able to tell if Google Apps is the right solution for your organization. Cheryl, if you could just advance the slide for me, please, and one more. Thanks. So as Kevin really discussed, the past couple of years have seen a kind of a rapid shift in the cloud landscape. Simply put, a move to a cloud-based technology is often now a huge part of scaling your business. Cloud solutions like Google Apps allow you to punch above your weight line and access resources and IT tools that you've never had access to before. Kevin alluded to, opening access up to tools that have really only been available to, elite Fortune 500 organizations. The promise of Google Apps is really, the ability to have those same tools, deployed in enterprises large and small. Here at Google, I work with organizations of just a handful in the case of some startups to very mature enterprises that have been around for decades or more. I think that moving into cloud-based technologies is just a critical way that an organization can remain competitive and indeed must remain competitive as we move forward. Next slide, please. And Kevin shared some really interesting statistics about allowing employees to work from anywhere and everywhere. Increasingly, clients that I work with and that Business Intelligence works with satisfy organizations that have remote workers or field workers. Indeed, many of my organizations that I serve are actually going to be primarily virtual officing organizations, meaning they have no brick and mortar location for an organization to come together. There is no, water cooler talk. There is no all hands meeting in the traditional sense. You need to provide services that allow your organization to come together in a meaningful manner, but a virtual manner. So whether they're on the road, in front of clients, vendors, partners, customers, or they're working from home regularly, geography really doesn't matter anymore, allowing companies to make use of the best possible talent wherever they reside. And next slide, please. I think one of the things that really gets me excited about our offering is really the reputation that stands behind Google products. This is an infrastructure that receives billions of dollars of investments every single year. Kevin did an excellent job of giving an overview of what our infrastructure looks like. We have some of the world's best engineers constantly focused on very specialized aspects of that infrastructure in ways that your IT leader and your typical enterprise or organization just doesn't have the bandwidth to do. So a good example is on the case of security and privacy. Google actually employs over 500 full-time software engineers, at no small cost to ensure that we are providing the most cutting-edge offering in an area like security and privacy. Certainly, two things that are incredibly important to my enterprise customers. We do have a 99.99% uptime guarantee, and the reason that we're able to provide that guarantee is simply because our cloud infrastructure is so redundant. Kevin showed that map of our data centers all over the world. That redundancy is built into everything that goes on here at Google, and Google for Work's offering, Google Apps, is no exception there. And that reliability is also bolstered with an incredibly smart spam filter. IT leaders on this call may remember a company called Postini. Postini was acquired by Google a couple of years ago, and we've since rolled their kind of best-in-industry spam filtering products into Google Apps so that is a baked-in part of your experience. So you're no longer kind of looking outward for an additional solution to protect your organization on this front. And most importantly is we're using scale. So we have nearly 1 billion users on this infrastructure today, over 2 million paying business customers as well. And all of that knowledge really helps us get very smart and intelligent around threats to your business to make sure that you know, a malicious message or a attachment containing a virus would never even reach your user base. Next slide, please. So, you know, I think the most exciting part of Google Apps is really the fact that it is a comprehensive offering. Many of my conversations used to start primarily around an email need. You know, David, we're looking at a hosted email solution. Would Google Apps be a good fit for our business? I think today those conversations are a little bit more diverse, and they probably include conversations around a file storage tool, a productivity suite, a communications tool. And these are areas where Google Apps is really you know, a comprehensive product and a platform for your business. So whether it's communication tools like our email offering, Gmail, or you know, a tool like Google Hangouts for video conferencing, for presentations, for remote desktop controlling, or you're talking about aspects of our productivity suite, tools like Google Docs, Google Sheets, Google Slides. You really do have a full end-to-end solution for many core IT needs. And you know, if you are a business leader looking to spend your dollars in the most cost-efficient way possible, Google Apps represents an enormous opportunity to really efficiently invest those funds so that your organization is getting the most bang for their buck. And next slide, please, Cheryl. And this is something that I really got to experience firsthand when I joined the team here at Google. But the peace of mind that you get when you're doing business with Google is tremendous. Just as an aside, I have a father who runs a small business. He recently made a move to Google Apps. He is a very big stickler on things like support and customer service. The feedback that I've gotten from him is tremendous, and I actually sit very close to our support team here in Mountain View. It's a global organization. The 24/7 support that we provide administrators is best in the business. We do provide an actionable resolution to something like 90+% of issues reported, and typically they're not you know, our system is down, but rather, how do I do this or that, or access this feature in my admin console, your home base for administering a Google Apps account. And then, you know, for the life of your subscription to services like Google Apps, you know, you not only have the support offered by a firm like Business Intelligence 101, but you also have, you know, Googlers who, you know, will work with the organization to really make sure that you're well taken care of. So whether that's, you know, engineering resources, account management resources, you have a pretty wide network of folks who are, you know, really committed to making sure that long term you not only deploy the product well in your IT environment, but that you receive the necessary training and change management training to really get users to adopt these tools, so that this is an investment that makes a lot of sense in your business. And again, you guys are able to kind of realize the fullest benefits of Google. You know, with that, I wanted to kind of segue into you know, a slightly different topic, and that's really, you know, how do you know if you know, not how do you know if Google Apps is a really good solution, but how you might be able to just really save cost. I think you know, that is a critical element of a move to the cloud, is just how you would lower your IT costs. You know, the typical cost of ownership difference between Google Apps deployments that I work in conjunction with partners on and Microsoft Exchange is often 50% or more. So, you know, where do those dollars really go? So next slide, please, Cheryl. So the first is, you know, IT leaders are strapped for time. They wear a lot of hats in their organization. They maintain lots of different applications and systems that together comprise, you know, the engine that drives business today. The clearest cost savings is the elimination of a need for on-premise hardware and locally installed software. So if you're an IT leader and you're currently kind of in the installation and maintenance game, helping along a on-premise server, that you have to constantly maintain, or you're, in the business of upgrading licenses on individual machines across your network. These are things that are very time-consuming and effectively are taken off your plate when you move to Google Apps. So there's immediate cost savings there. Next slide. And certainly the reliability factor, back to this infrastructure, when you are relying upon an infrastructure that receives billions of dollars of investment, this is an area where you really just don't have to worry. The operating costs and really the unknown costs, what would an unpredicted failure, an unanticipated failure of one of your traditional on-premise systems really cost your business? So the operating costs and the ongoing and recurring costs, as well as some of those costs that you might not be able to anticipate, are really eliminated when you move to a service like Google Apps and you take some of those traditional systems out of play. And so, this is something I alluded to just a moment ago, but right now you may be paying a variety of vendors for a variety of services, and a lot of these vendors have been, very specifically chosen to meet very specific needs in your organization. Something that gets me really excited is helping an organization to uncover areas of value in Google Apps. Talking to a customer who is really only familiar, say, with Gmail, our hosted email offering, and helping them understand that they can actually start using Google Drive as a great alternative to a traditional on-premise file server, and that Google Sites might be a great replacement for a kind of an internal wiki or knowledge base or company intranet, perhaps powered by a traditional piece of software like Atlassian's Confluence. A huge area that we see savings kind of realized in is, of course, around Google Docs, our real-time collaboration suite. This is browser-based software. It's constantly updated, and it's always getting new features added. There's nothing to deploy. There's nothing to roll out to your users. You benefit from the latest innovation, at the speed that innovation takes place, without really needing to continually invest more dollars into our offering. And then with Android for Work, AFW here, or MDM, our mobile device management suite, you also get incredible tools that allow you to control the devices, the smartphones that your workers who are, again, not just in front of a traditional desktop machine, but perhaps on the road or working remotely for the bulk of their tenure as your team member. It gives you guys tight control over corporate resources no matter where they reside.